Contestant number 2, Brian Dialogo Chan. Who I am. Who I am. Contestant number 2, Brian Dialogo Chan.
Brian Dialogo Chan. Brian Dialogo. Hey, wait. Dialogo? Is I dialogue? Or is I having conversation with Brian? Ah, gosh, I got so confused. Who are you, Brian? Who are you? Dear contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been lost in your life? If you got to ask me back to the same question, I would say, yeah, I had. Who I am is always a good and tough question for me. A Chinese, a Taiwanese, or a Filipino? Yeah, you might be wondering, why Filipino? Since my mom is from Philippines, there are a lot of cultural differences between my families. When I was a child, my mom always spoke English and Filipino language to me, and I thought that is normally happen to every single families. Not until one day, when I was in elementary school, a friend of mine came to me and asked, Brian, how do you know how to speak English? That is so cool, like a magic. Hey, isn't your mom a Filipino who speak English to you every day? Hey, not like that. My mom is a Taiwanese. But our house servant is a Filipino who's called Maria. Sounds like your mom. Since then, I knew that I was kind of different. But it seems like most of Taiwanese people look down on Filipino just because most of them are doing labor job in Taiwan. So I didn't even like the truth that my mom is from Philippines, even to speak out. But again, one day in the class, teacher announced, today, our topic is, where your family from? I was so nervous to hear this kind of question. And I heard the answer like Taipei, Taichung, Tainan. Until my turns came, I was so speechless, even trying my very best to squeeze a word and say, well, my mom is from England. What? Brian? England? But you don't look like British. Do you? Well, I was so mad at this kind of situation. I rushed back to home, talked to my mom emotionally. Hey, mom, why are you a Filipino? You know what? My friend laughed at me, teased at me, and the most important of all, every Chinese New Year, I only got half red envelopes. Since your family is far away from Taiwan in Philippines. But amazingly, my mom got so IEQ, replied to me with patience and say, Brian, my lovely son, mom is really proud of my mother country. You're supposed to be. How about that mom buy you a ticket to Philippines? You go to see your family there. It'll be no more shame, okay? All right. Even though I have no idea why should I go to that country, but it's a free ticket. Why not? No bother. So, in summer vacation, I started my own journey to Philippines of finding who I am. When I arrived in Manila, Philippines, I found that, wow, my family there, even we have never met before, they treat me so nice. And I also met my cousins, brothers, and sisters. They are so easygoing, friendly, even optimistic. They are really happy and amazing people. I like them. And another day, my uncle brought me to a family dinner with my whole families in Philippines. It's like a celebration for me. So of course, we got alcohol. But I noticed that there are only a single cup on a big round table. I was curious, is this country too poor even to afford cups? But after my uncle's explanation, I realized that, Oh, they only use a cup, taking turn one by one to take a shot to show their brotherhood. It means that we are all in one cup. That is so interesting, isn't it? When the cup returned to my uncle, I saw my uncle stood up, rose the cup toward me and say, Brian, we are proud of you. We are proud of your mom. Your mom are so brave, travel alone to Taiwan, and you are a gift from God to us. We love you. We love your mom, Brian. I was so touched, even feel guilty of the way I was thinking of them. And at that moment, I realized that I was, and I am one of them. I got a blood. I really love them. So ladies and gentlemen, maybe sometimes you feel ashamed of what your background is, or who your families are, and crying upon the sky, say why? But through this real story of my life, I just want to let you know that everyone comes to or lives in your life for a reason. Please don't just see the surface of them, but see into the real value of them. Just like me, I was so embarrassed of my Filipino background, even to speak out. But now what? I'm standing here to share with you my story with confidence, like a man of steel. So please, be proud of yourself. Not that who your families are, where they're from. If you got to try hard to dig in, to experience, you can still see the value of them. You can still find the inside of them. And at the end, you will know. You will definitely know who you really are. So, have you ever been lost in your life? Come, Pastor.